Hello and welcome to Stress Less with me, Jess. Today, my special guest is Christina Flack. Hello, Christina. How are you today?
I am great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, thanks for being on here. I always go over what all the information that you provide for me, and it's always cool to hear. Well, actually, I'm also more amazing because XYZ. So thanks for providing some more
I don't
information.
know if I said that I'm more
No, no,
amazing,
no,
but
no. But that's what I got. You said, listen, let me tell you all the ways. So I just want to
a
say thank
couple more little things I do. So
Hey, they're important. They go with who you are. So,
yes.
Christina, you are a world-renowned celebrity makeup artist with experience with working with celebrities, magazines, and big name brands. You also have been featured in Vogue, People, Time, and Elle, as well as other campaigns with Gucci and Louis Vuitton. And you're just telling me that you are starting a new business with I Am Too Busy. It's also going to be a TV show talking about how it's too busy to be, makeup, wellness, exercise, all the things that we say we're too busy for. And you're also a beauty expert on live on a show on in California that plays every day on NBC.
Yes. It's called California Live. That's
California
the
Live. Yes.
California Live. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So we just said, well, you're amazing, so we're good. No, no. So tell me, so tell me in your own words about your business, Pretty Girl Makeup.
So I started Pretty Girl Makeup, oh my gosh, in 1999, a really long time ago. The beauty world has changed so much. When I started, there was no Facebook, there was no social media, there were no influencers. It was, you know, celebrities, publicists, agents, and then, whatever company you had. And that was that. The beauty editors at the magazines were everything. They decided if your company was going to make it or not. And so magazines are kind of in a decline right now, which is really sad because I think they're amazing. There's something to be said about going and buying a magazine, like at the airport or something, or at the supermarket, like touching it and feeling it. It's not the same vibe to me as, looking at it on an iPad or a phone.
Right.
So it's just totally different. So, I've had this company a long time, and I am still working as a makeup artist because I love it. I love working with different people, different places. And I don't know, it's just a perfect balance for me. I wouldn't want to be just sitting in an office all day running a business. It would make me crazy. So I like the flexibility of, you know, one, and both my businesses complement the other. It makes me much more desirable as a makeup artist that I have this brand and that I do TV shows and that I write for magazines. I just had a piece published in Women's Fitness this month. And so, it just makes me a lot more rounded, but it also makes me a lot more interesting for my investors that I do all these other things, and they all complement each other. Both my jobs complement the other. So it's kind of, not every career you're able to do that, but I am very fortunate with mine that I am able to do all these different things, but they're all similar.
No, I love that. And I think, like you said, balancing all these different hats, right? Going back to what you were saying in the beginning with the magazine, right? There was always something. And I know growing up myself, when like the new magazine came out, the new subscription came out, or when you're sitting at the grocery store and there was the magazines, even though they still have them now, but there was just something different with having that in your hand and touching. I think it's just the same thing with the book where it's just
Yes.
different, the feel, the texture, the touch, the colors. There's just
It's a
something.
different energy. And also, like, for me, like when I'm traveling, and there's been times that I'm going through an airport and I will have, like, I remember one day I was coming back from LA and I looked at the newsstand, and there were two magazines, one with People magazine with Rita Moreno that I did, and Tyler Florence in the Food Network magazine. And they were both like in front of my face. And the thrill that I get from that is like, it's orgasmic. That's the only way I can say it. It just is. It's like a feeling that's no other. I mean, it's great to see something on the phone, but it's not the same as like, wow, hey everyone, look at here. That's my work right there, Like, you want to yell that out, but you don't, but you want to.
You want to, because you know how much hard work goes into these kind of things.
Yes.
Like, to get your name out there, to even, it's I talk about this a lot on this podcast. Like, nothing's an overnight success, right? There is so many struggles and so many
Oh
no's,
my
and so
gosh.
many no thank yous and slam the doors. And so it's being able to take a lot of that. And I don't know about you, but I don't think it's easy to hear no's. And so, you because you want to serve, you want to be there, your product. And so it's yeah. So just knowing that you got to go through all that.
No, it's true. And I think it's important to take a minute to go, okay, this is a big deal. And like kind of be in that euphoric moment of feeling like, wow, I've like to be in your see your work in People magazine on Rita Moreno is a big flippin' idea. It's big deal. Okay. And with Tyler Florence, who's been my client for 17 years. And, you know, we just did a Williams Sonoma last week, 2 days with them. And they're, you know, for these Helson pans that are coming out in December. So all those little milestones are like, I really try and take a moment and really just go, God, that feels good. That's exciting. And because it hasn't been an overnight success. I've worked my tail off and done so many shoots and woken up so early and, you know, not gotten paid a lot or, and so all the little things are really, they mean so much. They really do, because I know they know there's a million makeup artists out there. And I am truly grateful and honored that I am selected when a client hires me. It's a big deal. So it's important to do that. And I think it keeps you, I speak a lot about get comfortable being uncomfortable. So all these little moments of uncomfortable get you to higher levels. So when you have a moment that something feels really good, you've got to go, okay, it's like a warm, cozy sweater. Like, oh, this feels good. So
You know what, you brought up social media earlier too, and it's obviously, and then in your world of the work, right? There's a lot of social media, and I think even on there, we show all the glamour and the good times. And as a business owner, that was one thing that they try to tell you is you get to make your own schedule. You get to work from the beach. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going, I don't know the day I worked on the beach yet, but
no,
but you're
I
saying,
have, but it's not all that. You're still on the beach working. You're just in a different location, but. You're right. And I think, Tyler says this all the time. If people realized how hard it is to be exceptional, no one would do a goddamn thing, because it's more time, it's more effort, it's more money, it's more sacrifice, it's more everything. And so ignorance is kind of a blessing when you're starting a business. But I think it's important, and I've said this to my kids, figure out what you love doing so much that you would do it for free, because you want to wake up every morning excited and enthusiastic about the day. Because when you're starting, you're not making money, you're putting money in, or you're putting it back in, or you're having to spend something. So if you don't really love the process, every little step, you're going to go forward, you're going to go backwards. If you don't love it, you are going to fail inevitably, because you're going to resent it. But if you're loving your process, so that's why, like for me, still doing the photo shoots, it brings me joy. And I've realized I actually need to do that to be better at running these companies, because that's not always fun. It's like, it's a lot.
yeah,
So
no, it
I
is.
think,
Sorry,
yeah, no, go on.
no, I just really love this conversation because I wanted to bring something up that's on your website, and your website says every girl is pretty. And I think this just goes really hand in hand with, like, we're talking about the business owners, but we're also talking about, what's on social media. And I think a lot about how you view yourself too, kind of like you were saying, like, I want to love what I'm doing. You also have to view yourself in the sense that, like, you have to work so hard and have that confidence that whether it's to say no, but also just to keep grinding, right? There's so many things that the way you view yourself. So I also wanted to bring that piece into when you talk about on your website of, every girl is pretty. So I just want to mention that too. So I love that.
Yeah, no, I do think that. I think everyone is beautiful in their way. And I think, we have to be kinder to ourselves. We're so harsh on ourselves, and like we would never treat another human the way we treat ourselves. And my friend Diana Stoba, who I was just talking with, and she's a CEO of Truth Bar, and she has this amazing retreat in Costa Rica that's world renowned. She said that to me one day. She goes, "You beat the hell out of yourself. Like, you would never speak to me that way or anyone else." And I thought about it. I thought, my God, you're right. So I think it is important, to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, the most attractive thing to me in another human is someone that's confident and happy with themselves and comfortable in their skin. But there's this component to be successful of pushing yourself to being uncomfortable a little bit, because that's always when growth happens and great things will happen. I have always been a makeup artist because I prefer being behind the camera. But then I started doing, about 5.5 years ago, after my husband passed away, I started doing these podcasts about raising awareness for sepsis and grieving in a positive way. And then obviously speaking about my businesses, about beauty and wellness and beauty from the inside out. And so then when I had the opportunity, my friend Berlin Fisher asked me to, if I wanted to go on California Live and on NBC and be a beauty expert and, talk about makeup and, all the different things that we do. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. Like, no, I don't do that. And that's who taught me, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And having done that has really opened up a lot of doors for me. It gives me so much more credibility as for makeup artist, but running my business. It also has given me a confidence that I did not have in front of the camera. And I'm so grateful that I did get comfortable being uncomfortable, because now I realize that uncomfortable part is going to come, the uncomfortable, yucky feeling that you get with something new. I know now that something great's going to happen after I do that. So I know that there's going to be a rainbow or something fabulous. So now it's not so awful, the scary part.
Yeah, you know what I tell people too, because I love this, because not everything can always be great, because then great won't be great, right? So not everything.
That's true. You're right.
Right?
Great wouldn't be great.
Great wouldn't be
It
great.
has to suck. It has to suck a bit too, or be bumpy.
Be bumpy, right? So I always tell people about the heart monitor. It goes up and down, right? If it was flat, you don't want it to be flat. You want your heart monitor to go up and down. That's just how life goes, up and down. And so, like you said, in that sense of, this part sucks and it's going to suck, but I know that there's something going to come from it, and I can find something that I learned from it, whether I learn from it now or it's X amount months later, because you don't always learn from it right in the beginning, right?
Right.
You're still trying to process. There's so many things going on. So maybe it's not today, but I know eventually something's going to come from this. And having that, again, going back to having that confidence in yourself is so, so strong.
No, and it's so interesting because, people are always, oh, well, what if I fail? What if I fail? To me, the only failure is in not, I used to say trying, but I removed trying because it gives you wiggle room to kind of get out. Like, oh, well, I tried. Bullshit. You have to decide to do it, set a goal, and execute it. So if you do that, failure is in not doing it. The failure is in just living in that, I have zero patience for hearing people complaining about their marriage, their relationship, their home, their job, their body, whatever. They make no change except complain. I don't want to hear that. Tell me a solution and do something different, and that is the failure in doing nothing, just living in that yuck, that murkiness.
But I think there's two parts to that, where there's consistency. So sometimes, it's hearing the no's all the time. It's hearing, no, I don't want that. It's hearing that doesn't work for me, or you're not the person for me. It's hearing those things and being comfortable, like you're saying, with being comfortable with that. But it's also going, okay, if this isn't working, what can I do? Because I think there's sometimes there's that waiting process, because I think sometimes we give up too soon. And so there's also that process of, okay, I've tried this. Maybe I'll try it this way. I'll tweak this piece. And I think that's also another part too, is that not just going, okay, this doesn't work, I'm done, I have to try something else.
No, I think what that happens, sometimes the universe, we think it's happening to us. It's actually happening for us. So sometimes when there's a bump or something amiss, that just means you need to go in a different direction. Like, okay, I learned from that, I'm going to go a different way. You never know. It's like with marketing and social media, you don't know what is going to work. Okay. You keep throwing spaghetti on the wall, and then something sticks and you're like, okay, I can't even believe it's stuck. So, I've been in all these different magazines for like my products and over the years. And I always thought, oh, once I'm in Style or I'm in Vogue and People magazine, I'm going to make like $1 trillion. No, the one that I made the most money from was an article in this newspaper in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that was literally 6 lines saying that my lip gloss was amazing, and you could find it at this one store. And people were lining up to buy my stuff from this one little store. I couldn't get her enough product. And then they'd order it. And you just don't know what's going to work. So you just have to keep trying. But that's what's scary with social media, paying these influencers. I have a problem. Like, I don't mind paying for something if I know I'm going to make, 2x after or 3x, right? But I don't really want to be paying someone that I'm not even going to get my money back from paying from what I invested in that person. So that's what's really hard. And then you have to always be constantly looking at these algorithms that constantly are changing. So There's
Yeah.
a lot. You just have to be able to flow with just what you said with the heart rate monitor. It's like a wave. You're going up the wave, you're going down, it's up and down. And you just have to know, like, just keep riding it. It'll all work out. And I think also I am so sure and I am so clear about the like things always working out. I'm just positive that way. That's what, like, I really feel that the universe helps us, right? The universe will help you for whatever you're focusing on. So if I'm just focusing on a positive outcome or making a certain amount of money or doing a certain project, I know the universe is going to help me that way. If I worrying is such a waste of time because it's basically telling the universe that's what you want to have happen. So if I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm going to lose so much money, I'm going to lose so much money. The universe thinks that you want to lose all this money and not be successful. And that's what's going to inevitably happen. So worrying about something happening to your kids, which, or whatever, your business, whatever, is not going to happen. So when you look back and go, okay, I wasted how many hours and days and nights, sleepless nights, worrying about something that might possibly, maybe could happen, but never did. So what a waste of time. Why don't you if focus on what you want? And then actually you have to envision it already of having it happened.
I think you talked about a couple of things here when it came to stress and like running a business. And you also talked about like that balancing moment too. So I think there's a couple of things like a takeaway is that like one, how are you talking to yourself? You talked about that in the beginning with you and your friend, right? You talked about just going with the flow, just go with the flow, right? But I think also it's taking those chances because you don't know where it's going to go. Like you said, the bigger names don't always mean bigger money and bigger investments and bigger this, right?
Right.
Oh, you don't really know. And so don't poo poo on somebody just because they're like, oh, well, that's too small of a group. You're like, I don't know.
You
You don't
don't
know.
know.
It took you 6 sentences to make all that money. How much time did that actually take you? Right. So it's,
You just don't know. And you know what was funny? My friend Diana, so she did give me this gift too. One day, after my husband passed away and everything was upside down and COVID and everything. And so what she said to me, and this was like the greatest gift she gave me, was just run your business and run your life, knowing that you're always going to have enough money. You're going to have the money to pay your mortgage, to go on vacation, to go shopping, to eat, for everything. You're going to have enough money. So if you don't have to worry about money, conduct your life. Just remove that. Just know it's not going to ever happen. So worrying about not having enough money, like how would you deal with business, decisions? How would you deal with your personal life if you knew failure was never going to happen?
yeah.
So that when she told me that, I was like, wait, I need to think, I have to digest this a minute. But I really don't sit and, I mean, once in a while I'll have something happen. I'm like, oh, but typically now I'm just like, I know I have enough money. I am fine. And
Fine.
so not sitting there because that blocks you from greatness. It blocks you from writing the magazine article or doing the thing on TV because, oh, well, I'm not going to be getting paid enough. Like, and not making decisions about because of money either. So when you do a People magazine or you're on TV as a guest or whatever, you don't get paid. But what
Right.
you get like amazing press that you're in a magazine, or you have all this video now that's professionally done from a network like an NBC for your social. So everything, if you don't make decisions for it being about money, it all is going to work out. So for me, writing these articles, I'm not sitting there thinking about, I'm doing it because I want to accomplish something. But inevitably, I am getting something because I have something written in a magazine, or I'm on TV speaking about beauty and wellness and beauty from the inside out. And that's all going to benefit. So that was a huge thing for me to learn and accept to do.
Yeah. No, this is great. And I think this is so many takeaways, whether you're running a business, whether you're a mom, whether you're just somebody just trying to figure out stress in their life. And example, especially with worrying, right? Worrying is a huge one when it comes to stress. And I think so many people can just
It's
relate
a
to
habit. It basically is a habit. People get in this habit, like they wake up worrying, they go to bed worrying. It's like and your brain gets in the habit of doing it over and over again. So it thinks that's what you want to do, and you don't. I mean, I also, when I do, and I do speak about beauty from the inside out, and what I mean is making sure you get enough rest, like real sleep, laughing, eating well, drinking the water, exercise. It is all these things are what make you beautiful from the inside. Smiling when you pick up the phone, have a smile on your face, and be excited about things, and taking time. Like sometimes if I'm sitting at my desk too long, or, I'm like, okay, enough. I'm going to go out and go for a walk. But the exercise for me, like today I went to yoga for an hour. It makes, it's not selfish. Self-care is not selfish. It's actually making me be a better mother, a better business person, because I've taken care of, I feel good, so I can work even harder now, because I'm not wasting time going, oh, I got to work out. I got to go work out. Because you know how you do that? You have that thing in your head going, oh my God, I got to go work out. I got to go. And then you don't do it. So if you just schedule it and do it and be done, okay, now I'm going to go do a podcast. I'm going to, take care of all these things I need to take care of. And I'm not wasting my thoughts about a bunch of junk.
I like the way you said wasting your thoughts.
Wasting thoughts.
I love that.
Yeah.
Christina, before I let you go, I want to ask, what is one thing you want the listener to take away from today?
Love what you do and laugh and enjoy life. Be happy. Don't feel like life shouldn't have to, don't make it harder than it is. And if you don't like something, change it, make a change. And if it doesn't work out, make another one. There's no failures. Just take that failure word out of the equation. Failure doesn't exist. Worrying doesn't exist. And you're going to have enough food and money, and you're going to be happy. Make the world a better place. Have some purpose. Give back. I do a lot of that too.
Yes, make it world. Yeah, we have so much more control on that than we realize, and all the things
there are so many people so much worse off than we are. And I think it's like when my husband and my son passed away, it was terrible. Okay, no getting around it. But what I tried to do was I started an educational fund for my son Bo and for my husband Ken Flack at the Northern Lights School in Oakland, California, for underprivileged children to go to school, and so it makes me feel good to help others. My son Ben, Bo's twin, just raised $71,000 in October for his brother and his dad's, educational fund. And it just feels really good. It's something that my son has done since he's 8 years old, playing golf, raising money. And every year it's like increased. Like last year it was 61,000. This year was 71, or 75. Every year it's just something that he does, and he doesn't even realize it's a big deal. It's just something that we do. And I think if you, instead of using like the actions that my family takes to give back, instead of using words and never executing them, are really a big deal. And I think it differentiates my son. He's, getting ready to go play golf, Division I golf in college in a year. He's getting recruited. That makes him a very different candidate for college, when someone sees like, yes, he's a very hardworking golfer and he's straight A's, and this kid has raised over, $200,000 since he's little for charity. Like, that's a different animal than most kids.
Wow. I wish we had more time for that one, because that's just way too beautiful of a story. Christina, you're seriously amazing. I love you bringing your presence on here. And
thank you.
One last question. What is the best way for our listeners to get in contact with you, whether it's for your makeup, just to tell you how amazing you are? What is the best way for them to contact you?
You can go to ChristinaFlack.com. You can go to PrettyGirlMakeup.com. I'm too busy.co. And on ChristinaFlack.com, you can scroll down and see the episodes on California Live on NBC, and different articles that I write, and all the different things that I do. And Instagram, Christina Flack Makeup, and Pretty Girl Makeup is PrettyGirlMKup. And yeah, thank you for having me. So much fun.
Thank you.